It's always heartbreaking to hear about young talents whose lives were tragically cut short. We all remember River Phoenix, whose brilliance was lost far too soon. Then there was the sweet Judith Barsi, whose voice still lingers in the animations we cherish. Anton Yelchin, a rising star with so much potential, left us in shock with his sudden passing. And who could forget Cameron Boyce, whose boundless energy and charisma illuminated every screen he appeared on. Sadly, these stars are just a few among many child actors who left us too early. This is a tribute to the young talents who met untimely fates. Judith Barsi. With a voice as sweet as her smile, Judith Barsi brought beloved characters to life, most notably as Ducky in The Land Before Time. Her innocent yep still echoes in the hearts of fans.
Keep him safe. Yep.
But behind the scenes, her life was anything but joyful. At just 10 years old, Judith and her mother were tragically murdered by her abusive father in a horrifying act of violence. A young star extinguished before she could truly shine, Judith's legacy lives on in the warmth of the characters she gave life to, forever a voice of childhood innocence frozen in time. Billy Laughlin, known for his role as Froggy in The Little Rascals, was another young actor whose life ended prematurely. His distinctive raspy voice and signature round glasses made him a standout in classic Hollywood.
Yeah, there's this girl who moved in across the street, and she came over because she wanted to play.
After his brief time in the spotlight, he returned to a normal life, only to have it tragically cut short in a motorcycle accident at just 16 years old. His passing is a reminder of how fragile life can be, yet his legacy remains in the fond memories of fans who grew up with his performances. Heather O'Rourke. A child star whose innocent face became synonymous with the horror classic Poltergeist, Heather O'Rourke captivated audiences with her chilling line, "They're here." But behind the scenes, a misdiagnosed illness led to septic shock, tragically taking her life at just 12 years old. Her bright light flickered out too soon, but her haunting performance remains unforgettable. Lucille Ricksen. A silent film prodigy, Lucille Ricksen was Hollywood's rising star in the 1920s. She worked tirelessly, carrying the weight of fame beyond her years. At just 14, she succumbed to tuberculosis, a life extinguished before it had the chance to bloom. She remains a tragic symbol of the cost of early stardom. Cameron Boyce was a rising star whose impact extended far beyond his acting career. Many remember him as the witty and charming Luke from Disney's Jessie or as Carlos in the Descendants films. However, Cameron was also deeply involved in humanitarian work, using his fame to support charitable causes. His sudden passing at just 20 years old, due to an epileptic seizure, left the world mourning. His death also raised awareness of epilepsy, highlighting the need for more research and understanding of the condition. Though gone too soon, Cameron's legacy continues to inspire kindness and purpose. River Phoenix was one of Hollywood's brightest young stars in the late 80s and early 90s. His performances in Stand By Me and My Own Private Idaho cemented his reputation as a raw and immensely talented actor. However, his life was tragically cut short when he collapsed outside the Viper Room on Halloween night in 1993. Beyond acting, River was passionate about environmental and animal rights, using his platform to advocate for causes he believed in. His star burned brightly but briefly, leaving behind a legacy of exceptional performances and activism. Brad Renfro captivated audiences with his breakthrough role in The Client at just 11 years old. His natural talent and compelling performances made him one of Hollywood's most promising young actors. Unfortunately, fame at such an early age brought its own struggles, and he passed away at just 25 years old. Brad's story serves as a somber reflection on the challenges of growing up in the spotlight. His performances remain a testament to his talent, ensuring he is remembered for the depth and emotion he brought to the screen. Bobby Driscoll, the voice behind Disney's Peter Pan, was a beloved child actor whose charm and innocence won the hearts of many. However, life after Hollywood proved to be a harsh reality for him. After struggling to transition into adulthood, Bobby's life ended at just 31 years old due to heart failure, linked to years of hardship. His story is a poignant tale of fleeting stardom, but his legacy endures in the timeless magic of his youthful performances. Dana Plato became a household name as Kimberly Drummond on Different Strokes. Though she brought joy to many with her on-screen presence, her personal struggles overshadowed her career. At just 34 years old, Dana's life ended under tragic circumstances, leaving fans heartbroken. Her story remains an important chapter in Hollywood history, a reminder of both the highs and lows that fame can bring. Gary Coleman, best known for his unforgettable role as Arnold Jackson in Different Strokes, stole hearts with his infectious energy and famous catchphrase, "What you talkin' 'bout, Willis?" Despite his success, he faced numerous health and financial struggles throughout his life. He passed away at 42 after a tragic fall, leaving behind a legacy of laughter and joy. His role remains an iconic part of American pop culture, reminding us all to appreciate the moments of happiness he gave us. Nikita Pearl Waligwa. Best known for her role as Gloria in Queen of Catois, Nikita Pearl Waligwa embodied resilience and hope. But off-screen, she faced a battle no child should have to fight: brain cancer. She left this world at just 15, but her warmth and spirit still shine through her work, inspiring young dreamers everywhere. Tara Correa-McMullen. After making her mark in judging Amy, Tara Correa-McMullen's life took a heartbreaking turn. She was only 16 when she was tragically gunned down in gang-related violence. A promising career lost to senseless brutality, she is remembered not for how she died, but for the talent she never got to fully share. Michael Cuccione. Michael Cuccione was more than just a young actor in 2GE+er, he was a warrior. A cancer survivor, he used his fame to advocate for childhood cancer research. But the toll of his treatments weakened his lungs, and at just 16, he passed away. His fight, his voice, and his heart continue to inspire. Rob Knox. After securing his role as Marcus Belby in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, Rob Knox was on the brink of stardom. But in a tragic act of violence, he was stabbed to death while defending his brother outside a bar. He was just 18, a young man with dreams that would never be realized. Anissa Jones. As the adorable Buffy in Family Affair, Anissa Jones was America's sweetheart. But life after child stardom was unkind. At 18, she succumbed to a drug overdose, a heartbreaking end to a girl who once brought so much joy. The world remembers her smile, even as her story serves as a cautionary tale. Sawyer Sweeten. Audiences loved him as Jeffrey Barone on Everybody Loves Raymond, but behind the scenes, Sawyer Sweeten struggled. At just 19, he took his own life, leaving fans and family devastated. A bright spirit lost in silence, his passing reminds us of the unseen battles so many fight. Josh Ryan Evans. Josh Ryan Evans defied odds, using his unique condition to charm audiences in Passions and How the Grinch Stole Christmas. But the condition that made him unforgettable also took his life at just 20. His small frame held a giant heart, and his legacy continues to bring joy. Sammi Kane Kraft. Sammi Kane Kraft was fearless, both on the baseball field and in her acting debut in Bad News Bears. But at just 20, a tragic car crash ended her life too soon. A young woman full of talent and promise, gone in an instant, but never forgotten. Bridget Anderson. The lovable child star of Savannah Smiles, Bridget Anderson had a spark that lit up the screen. But as she grew older, struggles with addiction took hold. At just 21, she lost the fight, leaving behind a legacy of talent that should have shone for years to come. Skye McCole Bartusiak. As Mel Gibson's daughter in The Patriot, Skye McCole Bartusiak stole hearts. But behind the success was a private battle. A seizure, triggered by an accidental overdose, took her life at 21. A young woman of immense talent, lost to the demons she fought in silence. Matthew Gabriel J. Madison. A promising actor and musician, Matthew Gabriel J. Madison had the world ahead of him. But life had other plans. At 21, pancreatitis claimed his life, a cruel twist of fate for one so young. His brief journey left a mark that those who knew him will never forget. Wright Morris. At just 21, Wright Morris's heart gave out, silencing a life full of potential. A cruel reminder that time is never promised, his story leaves us cherishing the moments we have and the people who make them special. Norman Chaney. As the lovable chubby in The Little Rascals, Norman Chaney brought laughter to millions. But his time was fleeting. Myocarditis took him at just 22, a young soul who gave so much joy in his short time on Earth. Christopher Pettiet. From Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead to Baywatch, Christopher Pettiet had a face audiences adored. But Hollywood can be unkind, and at 24, a drug overdose ended his life. A career cut short, a talent we'll never see fully realized. Ashley Aston Moore. The mischievous Chrissy in Now and Then, Ashley Aston Moore was unforgettable. But life after childhood fame wasn't easy. Struggles with addiction led to an overdose at 26, a stark contrast to the joyful girl audiences grew up with. Jonathan Brandis. A 90s heartthrob, Jonathan Brandis charmed audiences in Sequest DSV and Ladybugs. But Hollywood's pressure weighed heavy. At 27, he took his own life, leaving fans reeling. His story is a reminder that fame doesn't shield one from despair. Lee Thompson Young. From the famous Jet Jackson to Rizzoli and Isles, Lee Thompson Young was a star. But behind the camera, he battled inner demons. At 29, he ended his own life, leaving a void in Hollywood and in the hearts of those who loved him. Michelle Thomas. Best known as Myra on Family Matters, Michelle Thomas was radiant. But cancer does not care for beauty or talent. Stomach cancer claimed her at just 30, leaving behind memories of laughter and love that her fans still cherish. Carl Switzer. The mischievous alfalfa from The Little Rascals, Carl Switzer grew up, but fame did not follow. A tragic argument ended in gunfire, claiming his life at 31. His legacy? A little boy who made generations laugh. Kelvin Clark. A free spirit with a passion for performance, Kelvin Clark's life was tragically taken when his bicycle was struck by a car. Just 32, he left behind dreams unfulfilled but memories treasured by those who knew him. Dana Hill. A powerhouse voice in animation and a familiar face in film, Dana Hill battled diabetes all her life. At 32, complications took her away, but the characters she voiced continue to keep her spirit alive. Corey Haim. Once a teen idol, Corey Haim's life was a roller coaster of fame and struggle. Years of battling addiction weakened his body, and at 38, pneumonia took him. A life of talent, lost to a harsh reality. Scotty Beckett. One of Hollywood's earliest child stars, Scotty Beckett's adult life was plagued by troubles. A drug overdose ended his story at 38, a tragic conclusion to a once promising career. Rusty Hamer. As the lovable Rusty on Make Room for Daddy, he made people smile. But behind the scenes, he struggled. At 40, he took his own life, a heartbreaking end to a childhood icon. Michelle Trachtenberg. A familiar face in the early 2000s, Michelle Trachtenberg dazzled audiences with her performances in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Gossip Girl, and Ice Princess. She transitioned seamlessly from child star to a respected actress, but behind the glamour, she battled health complications. After undergoing a liver transplant, her body struggled to recover. At just 39, she was found lifeless in her Manhattan apartment, a heartbreaking end to a career that still had so much to offer. Her passing left Hollywood in mourning, remembering her not just as an actress, but as a soul who brought warmth and wit to the screen. Joshua Ryan Evans. Joshua Ryan Evans was proof that physical stature had no bearing on a person's ability to make an impact. Standing just 3 feet 2 inches due to a rare congenital condition, he became a beloved star as Timmy on Passions and Stole Hearts as the young Grinch in How the Grinch Stole Christmas. His infectious energy and talent made him unforgettable, but behind the scenes, his medical struggles were constant. While undergoing a routine procedure, complications arose, and he never woke up. At just 20, his journey ended too soon, leaving behind a legacy of resilience and inspiration for all who knew his story. Matthew Mindler. Best known for playing Paul Rudd's quiet yet witty son in Our Idiot Brother, Matthew Mindler had a promising future ahead of him. But as the cameras stopped rolling, he chose a different path, stepping away from Hollywood to pursue a more private life. However, the transition proved difficult. In 2021, he went missing from his university, and days later, the devastating news broke he had taken his own life at just 19. His passing was a somber reminder of the silent battles many young people face, reinforcing the importance of mental health awareness and support. Reflecting on these young talents is never easy, but celebrating their contributions is a beautiful way to honor them. Though their time was short, their impact was lasting, and their legacies will continue to inspire future generations. If their stories moved you, consider sharing them so their memory can live on. We hope to see you again for more stories that honor those who left us too soon. Like and subscribe to this channel for more interesting videos.